Want to talk about Sizzler?
Oh, yeah, what are you doing, Keelan?
That's right. So
people
Keelan,
will know, it got brought up in the emergency episode, actually, of obviously Keelan's been on a keto diet and been going very strong, by the way.
Keelan.
Commending you.
Yeah,
Keto
lost
Keelan.
10% of his body weight, which has
You went
saved us 10% in wages.
Yes, thank
which is
you
great.
for that.
So congratulations. Keep
Oh,
going,
no,
man.
no,
Keep shedding the
No,
weight.
no, don't
That's
worry
not
about it.
how
Just
it
keep
works.
going. That's. I think that's how it works. You
Yeah.
pay. It's like almost like a you know when you buy.
Because we could afford to hire 2 people if you're anorexic. So.
We're paying you how I buy fruit from the supermarket by weight.
by kilo.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but Keelan has.
Instead of paying per kilo, we're paying per kilo. All right. Wasn't that funny? It was funnier in my head.
Yeah, I'm glad we clarified that.
So, yeah, Keelan, you've been on an absolute roll with the keto. You went from Kentucky Fried Keelan to Keto Keelan, and we've been so proud of you as bosses, as friends, and as
it's been incredible up until the
work
moment.
acquaintances, actually.
His pants don't fit anymore. His pants don't fit. He's not even his belt. He was doing his belt to the last night.
That's when you know
Still
you're
falling
proud of your mate. When his dick flops out accidentally because he's been on a hectic diet, you're like, mate, I'm proud.
I'm proud.
I'm actually stretching my belt way past the last.
Have you had to punch new holes in the belt, like with a needle or something?
Not yet. Well,
Why
I
don't you
haven't. I just
get a new
haven't
belt
done
Just get a
it.
new
from
belt.
Kmart or something?
Yeah, I was going to, just never did.
But on this the first leg of the tour, in New South Wales, Sizzler is a very big chain restaurant. I've never been. Have you been?
No, because every time I go there, I mock my friends who live up there because they think it's normal to have a Sizzler, and they just go like,
Isn't
what?
it kind of just like Hooters without the tits?
I think so. I've never been.
It's like a
It's
trashy
all
American
you can eat,
restaurant.
It's a buffet, yeah?
What
It's
is
a
it?
buffet. Have you been to Food Star?
Do you
in
remember
Melbourne?
when we used to have
No.
Smorgies in Melbourne?
No.
When we were kids, there was like an all-you-can-eat chain called Smorgies.
Oh, maybe.
And it was just like you pay like $40, just quite hefty, but you just go in and you smash that shit. Like
you just try and get your
moose
money's
for
worth.
days.
Yeah.
Moose for days.
Dude, the moose was dope. I still have memories of like throwing up as a kid and being proud of myself. I was an animal.
Yeah, see, I was always the person that would go to the buffet and then just eat like a regular meal.
Yeah,
and then be like, oh, I just wasted my money.
You'd go to a buffet and like eat a salad, come out feeling great, and be like, awesome, I'll continue on with my day.
Yeah.
I go to a buffet going like, this is my day, and I'm going to ruin the rest of it in the next hour.
One time I went to a buffet with Jazz's family, and her little brother, who would have been 17 or 18, ate so much food. I've never seen a human eat so much food. He had so much food that he had to stop, have stomach pains, do 3 laps of the restaurant.
Like walk it off.
Walk it off. And then
What
he
a
sat back
legend.
down, he walked it off.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was crazy. You ate so much food. He goes, yeah. And then he went back and got more.
Yeah. That's a man
Incredible.
who knows how to pack in another lemon slice.
Oh,
When the
absolutely.
chips are down.
Yeah.
His throat. He knows how to put in more.
He was putting me to shame.
Yeah, what a legend.
Not even a big dude. Just
So-
was like, I'm going to get my money's worth.
I think I can guess what happened.
I heard about Sizzler on the Carl and Jackie O show.
You
And
are
then-
so white. People always like trash me
Yeah.
for being basic. I don't wake up every morning and go, geez, I wonder what Carl Sanderlands thinks about buffets. Is that
He
what
likes them.
Yeah, of course.
I can tell. I
No
don't have to listen
shit.
to the show. I just got to look at the guy and be like, I reckon he loves a good buffet.
And when we were in Sunshine Coast, I saw one, and I got very excited. But
Sunshine Coast was the first day, right? We're
Goes
doing
like
3
a human
days.
buffet.
So Keelan sees a Sizzler in Sunshine Coast and goes, oh, we should go to Sizzler. And then we're like, yeah, if we get time, whatever. And then I
Even
forgot about
I
it.
look down on Sizzler, and I think a lot of people would be surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
Even I look down on people who go, "Man, I'd love to go there."
Yeah.
Because you know who has surprisingly, and I'm sorry, Neil, but I'm ratting you out. Neil Cole-Hatkar, fellow comedian now, is a good friend. He
You
has
like Sizzler?
the widest taste in food of a person I've ever met. Him and Kieran Lyons, 2 comedians from Sydney.
That's surprising, Neil.
Neil, one time I witnessed, I was opening for him a couple of years ago on his tour. We
Yeah.
went to Bendigo and Geelong together. He had Subway twice in a day. He had Subway for lunch and then dinner.
That's like...
On the way home, he's like, can we pull back past Subway again? I was like, we already had that for lunch. He's like, yeah, I know.
Did you get it again with him?
No, I got KFC or something.
That's actually crazy from you, just walking into a Subway and not leaving with like a footlong.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It's crazy. It was wild scenes. But that's the thing. Even for me, there is such thing as
As a
too
limit.
much sub.
Yeah, too
and
much
one.
sub.
Yeah.
So Keelan sees a Sizzler.
Sorry, and the reason why I brought that up is because I was recently told a story from our management that Neil one time did exactly what you did. Went to the Gold Coast, begged them to go to a Sizzler. Yeah. And I just cannot believe that some people are like, what a cultural experience.
Well, if me and Neil are ever in the Gold Coast at the same time,
you
let's
guys
go,
can hang out together. Like most people go there just for Dream World, Movie World. You're like, fuck that. I want Sizzler. What do they serve? Ribs?
Well,
we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So Keelan sees Sizzler in Sunshine Coast, right?
Okay.
So not
they're
Gold
all throughout
Coast.
Queensland,
Yeah,
aren't they?
Sunshine Coast, and he goes, we got to go. And we're like, yeah, I guess if we have time. It's just a restaurant, whatever. And then we do the show, don't have time to go in Sunshine Coast. Keelan, in the morning, right, of the Gympie show, first thing he does, wakes up, starts Googling Sizzler locations so we can eat there for lunch. And we're like...
What happened to your diet? You're going so well.
No.
You can literally see the results. Your
Sizzler.
belt's not fitting.
Sizzler was my exception.
Yeah, that he made an exception.
Shouldn't be
He's like, he planned it out. He's going to wreck his diet at Sizzler. He was trying to make my tour take a massive detour so we go to the Sizzler that's near Gympie because they didn't have one in Gympie. Because apparently Gympie don't attend anything.
Yeah,
they would get two
Sizzlers.
people. Everyone else would come from Harvey Bay to
Although
get Sizzler.
you posted a picture outside of Lowe's during the week, and there were more people in that Lowe's than at your fucking show.
There was. And I think that says a lot about Gympie.
That Lowe's was packed. Like, there was a lot of other me's in there.
Very busy. So you might do well in Gympie.
Yeah.
You just show up and be like, hey,
I'll
guys.
just flyer at the Lowe's throughout the day.
Fuck that. Do the show at Lowe's. And, that's so on brand for you.
Right next to the mannequins.
Jeez, I reckon that would be peak Luke Kidgel if you could get a Lowe's sponsorship.
Oh, man, I should.
That'd be great.
I've been trying to get sponsored by that company, Mr. Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not interested.
Bloody dog.
Apparently I'm too sophisticated for them. Doubt it. They don't know me.
So he tries to make us take a massive detour. We go, no, we're not, right? We've got to do the Gympie show, whatever. And then, again, for the second time that trip, I forget about Sizzler.
Keelan, there's a reason why this chain shut down almost Australia-wide. Because it wasn't working in New South Wales or Melbourne.
I don't see why.
Then, right, we get to Gold Coast and Keelan goes, boys, there is a Sizzler 20 minutes away from the venue. We have to go.
I know the Sizzler you're talking about.
And
it's on the main highway. Yeah.
And at this point, Keelan is so sick. Like, he might sound sick today. He was close to death. I honestly wasn't sure if he was going to be able to film the show, right? Luckily, he managed to do it, and the only thing he forgot was the second most important thing, the charger. But whatever. We talked about that. We might return to it. And anyway, so we get there, and we start setting up for the show because it's at the hotel, and Keelan's like, when are we going to Sizzler? When are we going to Sizzler? I'm like, mate, set up, and then we can do stuff.
This is the conversation. They were talking about something actually quite important, and then they've turned around to me, and I've gone, boys, there is one more important thing we haven't talked about. And they both go, what is it? And I say, when are we going to Sizzler?
And both of us...
Honestly, was expecting you to say D's nuts. So I'm proud, but also still a little ashamed. Either's bad.
Tour manager and me look at Keelan and just go, did you just really suggest Sizzler while we're trying to solve problems with sound check and this and that set up for the show? Whatever. We just, again, for the 17th time that tour, forget about Sizzler.
Now, it sounds like Keelan was being a bit of a fizzler.
He was. He really was. He's being a Sizzler fizzler.
Yeah.
Anyway, we finally get 2 hours between the show and we're all set up. But then I realize, I got to do my podcast. So I got to my room to do my podcast. Dylan has to do other stuff as well. He's setting up for the VIP, for the meet and greet and sound check stuff. I'm doing my podcast. Keelan, sick as death, goes to Sizzler by himself.
You could have had a nap.
He needed a nap. Because he came home from Sizzler feeling so sick that he had to have 5 Panadol to do the show.
I was in...
Did you catch an Uber?
Yeah.
To Sizzler?
I caught, one there and back. Yep. I spent $50 on my Uber experience. my Sizzler experience.
How much is Sizzler for all you can eat?
It was $27. Oh, I don't know. It was very expensive.
And
it ended
how
up
much
being quite
food
expensive.
did you eat?
Yeah. You didn't eat that much because you were sick.
Yeah.
So you just wanted to try the food?
And I was so sick I couldn't taste anything, so... I was just eating and eating and eating.
I feel like that would have improved the Sizzler experience, not being able to taste it.
Probably.
I don't know. But
man.
it was
That's so
really good. So this is what I wanted to say. anyone from Sizzler listening, we're going to be in Queensland again in 2 weeks. If you want to give me a free...
These nuts.
All you can eat.
So grim that you're begging for a Sizzler sponsorship. Like, fair enough. KFC...
No, not a sponsorship. Sponsorship would be great. I would love for Sizzler to sponsor us.
Maybe
we would
sponsorship.
Get money as opposed to just one Sizzler meal.
What I was trying to say is I thought we hit a low point early on in the podcast when you asked for free KFC. I thought that was the lowest point. But yet again, you just continue to wow us on this podcast with Sizzler. I don't know why I look down so much on Sizzler.
So guys, in Brisbane, it costs $1 to talk to Keelan. Gold coin donation to talk to Keelan. If you want to talk to him for real after the show when he's finished working for an actual conversation, it's a $10 Sizzler voucher.
You know
that's how much that costs.
I think I look down on it because people who live in Gold Coast even go, dude.
Yeah.
And they live on the Gold Coast, so they already have no standards.
But how good would it be if I got to do one of those sponsored Instagram posts? Like, look at me at Sizzler. Come and get your great Sizzler
Mate,
food.
I'm sure that, free food or not, you will absolutely be posting photos at Sizzler. That's how excited you are about the brand.
It is a compulsory team dinner, lunch, break, whatever, when we go to Brisbane. I will let tour manager know, and that's booked in. And it's a business expense.
I'm not coming on this
tour manager is my employee.
Oh, man.
I also want to mention how sick I was. I got back from Sizzler and was in the fetal position on the bed about to cry.
Yeah, that's most people after they come back from a Sizzler. Well, it has nothing to do with you being sick. That's most people after a buffet. Just ask Kyle, mate. So... Well, I'm glad the weekend went well. That's good.
It was good. It was good. And Brisbane's up next. loosebeers.com/gigs.
I believe
Sizzler can contact me at Keelan for the Brisbane shows. No problem at all.
You done?
I'm good.
Great.
You see how annoyed you are? Imagine this for 3 days and there's actually Sizzlers that we could go to around, right? Imagine if there was a Sizzler an hour that way. He'd be like, boys, we've got to go.
Oh, we could do that.
No.
There is a food star, maybe 30 minutes from here. Maybe one day after we filmed the podcast, we can all go on a team trip to Food Star.
So an all-you-can-eat buffet?
Yeah.
Oh, Food Star just sounds like a servo.
Food Star is like a little bit worse than
It sounds
Sizzler.
like Food Works, which is a supermarket.
I'll book that one in, guys.
Let's move on from where Keelan wants
Star.
to eat. I don't think it's very engaging.
No, I bet people are loving it. Dude, they love it. Anytime we do something that sucks, people are like, oh, could you talk about... people will start requesting a segment where you just go through your meal prep for the week. But it's not actual meal prep. It's just restaurants you want to eat all day at.